for me. So I'm glad that you guys could join me really quickly here. But before I talk about anything else, let's talk about this lineup we got going on here at BlackUSA News. Sunday evenings, 60 minutes in BlackUSA with Michael Haney. You got to check him out. That comes on. His show comes on Sunday evening. Mornings, you have the Donnie Glover Morning Show. That is broadcasting at 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. So catch him typically when I am on my way to work, just getting into work, just getting started. So, be sure to check him out. And there's also the Donnie Glover Show, which comes on Tuesday evenings as well. So Tuesday evenings, 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast. Can't forget about Shared Space with Quita and Chap. I was on their program a few weeks ago, had a great time. They got a great show. They got a lot of stuff going on. Very community-based, community organized, taking care of things out there in Baltimore. Wednesday night is Sister Biz with Tamara and Nicole. Of course, as usual, they are handling their business, and their show also comes on at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thursday nights, you got to check out the Black Business Roundtable with my brother, Art Blacksher, and Dr. Ashley. Their program, once again, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. They're out here on the West Coast, and they're talking about the politics, the labor, and everything else that's going on here that's Black business related, broadcasting out of Oakland. And last but certainly not least, Saturday mornings at 10 is the Blackout with Kashmir Gathers. I had a fun time last week. She had a great show with me on it. So that was really what kicked off this really great week. So you guys go back and check out that show. I had a great time. It was early in the morning. It was before I had any coffee, but it was still pretty lively. She asked some pretty gosh darn good questions. Didn't want to swear there. But yeah, she asked some really great questions, and I can't appreciate the opportunity enough for her asking me on. Like I said, it was pretty early, but I got some decent rest, and I was pretty coherent nonetheless. All right, so once again, go back, check out Kashmir Gather's show, and check it out tomorrow's program for sure. Well, I think I want to just start things off with letting everybody here know I had the chance, the opportunity to have a new program. And it is a very, very great opportunity. I'm very happy to be a part of it. And, want to share this with you guys if I am able to. Okay, so I'm now part of the Ebony Covering Black America podcast network. Let me get this out of here. So, if you go on this website, in fact, let me just refresh it real quick. There you go. There are a ton of podcasts on here. So a lot of good stuff going on. Nonetheless, I'll let you guys check those out. But my show is called Crypto with Kamal. And if you guys can check it out, I would greatly appreciate it. Episode 1 is called The Starting Line to Crypto. Now, this is a show I've wanted to do for quite some time. And the reason why is I really just wanted to start from the very beginning. What you guys should know when it comes to crypto. So anybody who's ever been intimidated or confused in terms of, well, hey, where do I start? This is where you start. And that's how I wanted to start this program off, is just letting folks know, hey, this is where you got to start. And from here, we're gonna go full speed. I mean, we didn't get that chance to do that here at BlackUSA Crypto News because I try to handle things that are a little bit more contemporary in terms of the news stories and the news choices. But this is an audio only podcast, and like I said, I want to try and give people an even deeper insight into some of these concepts. So a lot of these shows are just going to be me going over, once again, these technical concepts, me kind of taking deep dives into things. And so you're definitely going to want to subscribe and check this out. Please subscribe. I think that's going to be the best thing, once again, to kind of get people in the game. I'm going to be having conversations with a lot of people you may have encountered here on my show. We're going to be talking about new and different things. And you're going to also encounter a lot of other brand new people as well. So, hey, you can find this program at the Ebony Podcast Network website, also wherever you find your favorite podcasts. So, the ones like iHeart and Spotify and so on and so forth. So, got to check them out. Please do. If you subscribe, that would be the best thing. You get audio and video, every week with me here, guys. So, and I'm trying to do my absolute utmost best to bring you guys the best content. I love the people here at BlackUSA. Being part of the family has been nothing short of an honor. And it is an honor to be affiliated with the Ebony name and brand as well. So, hey, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. You're going to continue to see me here. I'm not going anywhere. And, this has just been one really fun ride, and it's going to continue. We're going to keep it moving. That's for sure. So, hey, please join me over there as well. And like I said, that's an audio podcast. You can turn that on when you're driving. You can also turn it on at work. So if somebody looks over your shoulder, they don't see you watching the video and say, oh, hey, who's that guy? You actually got your work on your screen. So this one won't get you in trouble, once again, if you're driving or if you're working. So, this is just like, it's been a great thing, and I'm so blessed. I'm also so grateful to so many people that, I can't even name names right now. So, this has just been certainly one of those weeks, once again, where, I'm counting my blessings, because actually yesterday I had a chance to meet Arlen Hamilton. Now, I'm not sure if anybody knows who Arlen is. You should. If you do not, you absolutely should. I heard about Arlen and her story at least 4 years ago. She is a venture capitalist and the founder of Backstage Capital. And she does a lot of really great stuff in terms of making sure there's diversity, equity, and inclusion in the technology space. So as you can see in this picture, it's myself, my lovely wife, and Arlen herself. And my gosh, this to me was the best thing. I'm not going to say the best thing ever. This is a really cool thing. You could see her holding up my book, DeFi for the Diaspora. That, like I said, that's a pretty monumental thing. And I'll tell you why. Number one, when I saw her yesterday, she was touring, talking about, really what she has going on with a new company called Runner, which is going to help people with employment, especially people who may not necessarily have a shot or have had a shot in places like Silicon Valley and other tech hubs, to actually have an opportunity to be selected in a more equitable fashion. So that right there, hats off to that. Also, she wrote a book, which I encourage you guys to check out. Arlen's book tells her story, and it's definitely a story worth reading about and talking about. But beyond all that, she's here and she's reading my book, DeFi for the Diaspora. Not just that, she said, hey, come on, let's get in a picture. And she agreed to hold up my book. So that was one of those moments for me. One, I mean, I'm already pretty excited to meet her in person, hear her speak. She was talking about her book, and obviously she's, promoting her book. But to say, hey, you know what, me as an author, I'm going to take time out of me promoting my book, and I'm going to help you promote yours. That's one of those things right there that, I mean, hey, once again, so humbling. And there's not a lot of moments in life where somebody humbles you by their own humility, and that's definitely what it was. I mean, I've been put in my place many times in life by people who were saying, hey, I'm up here, you're down here, right? But for somebody to say, hey, I'm up here and I want to put you right up here with me, dang, man, that was a feeling. So I'm still riding high off that, and can't thank Arlen enough. You guys, once again, pick up her book. It's definitely worth reading. Once again, learn more about Backstage Capital and what they're doing, because they're one of the good guys out there. They're one of the VCs that are looking to make sure that there's more equity and inclusion in technology. So got to go back to DeFi for the Diaspora. Check out my book. You can go to my website at www.kamalrhubbard.com. Arlen's reading it. Why aren't you reading it? It's really picking up, and it's getting a lot of more attraction or more attention, and you're getting a lot more people attracted to the concept. I've had pretty good feedback this week about the book, so that's been great. The other thing I want to announce is very soon my audiobook version of DeFi for the Diaspora is coming out. So, I understand people are very, very busy nowadays, and podcasts and audiobooks are really a great vehicle to absorb and obtain information. There are a lot of people who like to read books, but they don't have time necessarily to sit down and read a book. That's our busy lives today. I mean, but there are people, of course, who love to read books. They want a physical book. They want the book in their hand, and they want to be able to read it. And there's people who like having a Kindle and don't like books stacking up on their shelf. So what I tried to do with my book is really make it approachable for everyone. If you want an ebook copy and you want to pick it up on a Kindle, you can do that. If you want a hardcover that you think is going to last a little bit longer than a paperback, you can do that. If you just want to pick up the paperback and feel the pages in your hand, I got one of those for you. And very soon I'm going to have the audiobook. So if you're driving, if you're at work and you want something to listen to, got to keep your eyes on the road or got to keep your eyes on a screen, I got you. That's all I'm saying. And I, once again, there's some people, who, once again, don't have the time to read a book or might not even like reading books or taking in books that way. So those are the people I had in mind with the audiobook, and it's coming soon. So please be on the lookout for that. And gosh, there's a lot in the news that I want to talk about, but like I said, I mean, gosh, it's just been one of those weeks where a lot of news has come and gone. And, I'm not necessarily sure where to start. There was a pretty big hack in the DeFi space that got exposed today with the DeFi project BZBX. And they got hacked for what's reported to be $55 million. So in my book, I talk about the risks of DeFi protocols. And, this is definitely hacks. They happen all the time in DeFi. And so you got to watch out for them. There are things like insurance, decentralized insurance to help you in your DeFi activities. Do they cover everything? Not necessarily. Do they cover a lot of things? Absolutely. And if you want that extra level of protection, look into these DeFi insurance platforms to help you. I cover a few in my book, but there's plenty out there. And maybe, that sounds like a topic for an upcoming show. Regardless, the BZX DeFi protocol is a lending protocol that's built on top of Ethereum and the Binance Smart Chain. And it looks like they got, once again, hacked for just around 55 million. But that number hasn't been verified internally. It's just looking like the initial reports are saying that has been the amount. And so when tweeting about this incident, the Slow Mist team said that the teams, the actual BZX team, said that a private key was compromised. So this actually goes back to a security issue, right? If a private key was compromised, that private key wasn't secure. And this goes to really basic foundational security level. If you are operating in crypto, you should you should secure your keys. Hey, there's a lot of ways to do it, and that's, once again, is a show unto itself. But you gotta make sure you have those very basic level securities in place. Now, as an individual, it's one thing. And, really, once again, as an individual, there's no excuse. But as an actual platform where you're taking in people's money for something like that to happen, that's not a good thing. That's all I can say. So, you guys, it's sad to hear this. And actually, BZX also got hacked last year in February, apparently. And, at the time, they got hacked for $366,000, but all those assets, going back a year, all those assets today would be worth close to $6 million. So, once again, this goes back to security. Secure your private keys, especially if you're talking about a platform. Platform needs to definitely look out for its users in that regard. You individually should also secure your keys. There's a lot of ways to do that. And once again, that's a story unto itself. I think just some of my tips in terms of security is, we have cameras everywhere now. You got a camera on your phone, camera on your computer, camera on your iPad. And one of the best practices is, hey, do not cut and paste your keys. Write your keys down. So people will, okay, write their keys down and leave the key on the desk. And what else is on your desk? Your phone, your laptop, your iPad with those cameras that can get hijacked. They see the key, they get your money. So, not only do you want to write that key down, you also want to put it in a safe place. And so, you guys, that's I think that's probably the rule of thumb on this one. Not all the details have come out around that. So once again, going from what I know and just taking a quick look at that story, that's what I would recommend in this situation. So I don't know. I want to check out another story. So I think there's a lot of great stuff going on today. Quite a few things. I mean, this week was NFT NYC, which is basically a gathering discussing NFTs. I like NFTs, and anyone who watches the show knows I have some degree of trepidation about NFTs. And, quick story. Part of that reason is I was involved in one of the very first NFT launches for working with the Wu-Tang Clan and Old Dirty Bastards estate, the estate of Russell Jones. And that was so informative, so enlightening. It was such a great experience working with all those folks. But it came at a time when people just weren't ready for NFTs. They didn't know, NFTs are catching on now, right? They're very popular now. And in hindsight, if we had done it now as opposed to then, it would have had totally different effect, totally different outcomes, But it's very early, still very early with NFTs. And that was part of what this conference was this week, is talking about legal implications and all sorts of other things. We're talking at the end of the day about art and intellectual property. How do you secure these rights? Blockchain is a great way of doing it. So there's a lot of issues that still need to be fleshed out. There still needs to be there's some major scalability issues, in my opinion. Well, I mean, I think that's consensus as well with Ethereum, gas fees this week. I mean, I just stopped looking after the last couple of days, because it's gas is way too high. And unfortunately, that affects some of the smaller people and even some of the artists, right? Because they can't mint their NFTs at such a high gas price. I could go on and on about that, but, I think I may have talked that to death, because you will always catch me bemoaning high gas prices. And of course, I blame it on NFTs. I don't blame it on DeFi stuff. Never, never, ever. I wouldn't do that to you guys, right? So, another story that I think is pretty interesting today, and trying to bring it up. There was a study on hiring. So, obviously the economy has been affected by the COVID-19 global pandemic, but the economy has also been affected by the adoption of cryptocurrencies, as well as NFTs and other blockchain projects. So, LinkedIn, they really have they've had solid data on what's going on in terms of blockchain jobs for quite some time now. And I regard it as some of the most authoritative in the industry. So, hats off to the folks at LinkedIn. You guys really got a strong pulse of what's going on. And in particular, they're saying that which U.S. cities led crypto hires in 2021. So, they're saying, of course, New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. So those are the top three. Obviously, New York, because it's a financial center, you got Wall Street there, which I'll get to another story about New York in a minute. But San Francisco, obviously Silicon Valley, we're a tech hub here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Los Angeles has Silicon Beach, or what's known as Silicon Beach. And, with Los Angeles being an entertainment hub as well, you're going to see a lot of stuff with blockchain games, also entertainment that's going to be blockchain related, and NFTs, of course, right? But some of the places you may not have known, well, or maybe you did, maybe you didn't, Miami and Chicago were rounding out 4 and 5. So, if you're in these cities, and you're looking to get a job that is related to blockchain, once again, hey, do what you can to upskill and learn as much as you can, maybe get a small certification and start hunting these jobs out, because blockchain's not going anywhere. If this last year has not shown you that blockchain is not going anywhere, all right, I don't know what to tell you. You might want to go back to the first program, or you may want to check out my podcast, because I talk about that. But another story that also came out this week is the mayor of Miami. So tying this back into this story, the mayor of Miami is saying that he's going to take his first paycheck completely in Bitcoin. So I don't know if you guys saw that story, but I thought that was pretty interesting. Miami as a city is buying Bitcoin. What they want to do in the future is actually pay city workers in Bitcoin. And now the mayor's saying, hey, I want to take my first 100% paycheck in Bitcoin. And what happens when he says that? Not long after, the newly elected mayor of New York, Eric Adams, says he's going to take his first 3 checks in Bitcoin, his first 3 paychecks, all in Bitcoin. I think a lot can be said about that. And, without getting politics involved into, or bringing a political layer into all this, right? What this is saying is, once again, Bitcoin, people are choosing it as a way to be compensated, and if you're a business, and you're wondering, well, hey, we do business on a daily basis and we want to incorporate blockchain, we want to incorporate Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, now's the time when you might start thinking about getting some degree of point of sale, or getting goods and services in exchange for cryptocurrencies. It doesn't have to be 100% thing. It doesn't have to be for every transaction, but maybe some of them. Because you as a business, once again, what that allows you to do is, be able to get cryptocurrencies without actually paying out of pocket for it. You're exchanging your goods and services for it. So, hey, this is not financial advice. This is not tax advice. It's not legal advice, but I'm just trying to give you guys ideas in terms of, hey, you want to get into crypto. These are some ways to do it, especially if you don't know how to buy it, or you don't want to buy it. You don't have the money to buy it. Find a way to allow your business to accept cryptocurrencies as a method of payment. And there you go, right? So that's all good. I'm going to close the show on that story right there. I can look at stories all day and night with you guys, but it has been, once again, a really great week, and I want to end things on a happy note. And I want to also thank you for joining me here on BlackUSA Crypto News. Please do check out my other podcast on the Ebony Covering Black America podcast network. That first episode is entitled Starting Line to Crypto. So if you want to know where to start, my opinion, that's where you start. Be on the lookout for future episodes, not just there, but here as well. Also pick up DeFi for the Diaspora at my website, www.kamalrhubbard. Also be on the lookout for the audiobook that's coming soon too. So, hey, once again, thanks again for joining me, and take care.